beginning in 2002, then they started doing full text recordings or full audio recordings of all phone calls in the United States.
Well, a certain percentage of them, and it
Right.
grew with time, right?
So that now it's all of them.
I think it's pretty much most of them, yeah.
Yeah. And a certain percentage of those they transcribe, the
Right.
people who, because maybe are they actually following some sort of rule or law?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. No, they're not following the law. They're following the guidance that they're after. For example, if they're looking at whistleblowers, they're listening to all reporters. Okay, so they listen to all the reporters, all the news magazines and TV and so on. Then, according to Russ Tice, they listen to lawyers and also judges, even of the Supreme Court. This is not, I mean, I don't know, this is what Russ Tice has been saying he's observed. So, there's quite an array of people they're looking at, and I'm sure they have people in there who they consider as potential terrorists too. So,
yeah, but this is far beyond strictly terrorist targets. This is
right.
Domestic. And what's the purpose of all this domestic surveillance? How can they justify
It's primarily being done for law enforcement. The FBI and the DEA are the two primary users of that data. They go in and look at it. Reuters did a fairly good article in August of last year about the DEA and the Special Operations Division of the DEA that was responsible to look into the NSA collected data, content, right? And see if they could not find evidence of crimes, and then they would go use that data to arrest people. And then in that process, they couldn't use the NSA data in a courtroom, so they'd have to go and do a parallel construction. And that meant they would have to use what they would consider normal, typical police investigative techniques to find the evidence to use to arrest them.
But it's like hunting Easter eggs and you have a map.
You know where they are. Yes, that's right. But I mean, that makes it, and then they would substitute that for the original data from NSA in the courtroom. Well, that's perjury, right? That they're perjuring themselves when they do that in court. And they're subverting our entire judicial process.
Just to get back to Snowden for a minute, as far as you know, nothing in the Snowden revelations then is incorrect or exaggerated?
No. I mean, because it's all the documentation of the government. It's their documentation. That's best evidence. That's the best evidence.
And then what do you think of him going to Russia and China then? China and Russia?
Well, I think he was trying to get to South America or to find a place to land somewhere. So, I mean, he went to Hong Kong from Hawaii, but he went there to transfer the data to the reporters. And then once he did that, then he flew from there to Moscow. And
does that concern you? Do you think that maybe some of that data has gone over to?
As far as I know, my understanding is that none of that data, he turned all the data he had over to the reporters in Hong Kong, that he had none of it with him. So I don't believe he has any now. At least that's my understanding.
Do you think, my initial take was, if Snowden is a hero, if he wants to be a hero, heroes come with a price. And so he should come back to the United States and face prosecution because, number one, I think the government would really have some trouble going into a full-blown prosecution of him because of the things that would be discovered on discovery and all that. No?
No, it claims the state secrets, and you never get to see it, and you could never bring it up. They did the same thing in the Tom Drake trial. He wouldn't get a fair trial, is what I'm saying. They would deny use of the evidence in court. They would deny use of any motivation statements or any exculpatory data that they didn't want admitted. They could claim state secrets, which is what they did with Tom Drake. So I mean, he would never get a fair trial here, not under this administration.